Justin and Hailey's world just turned upside down, and suddenly Selena's name is back in the headlines. A lip reader claims that during the event, Hailey leaned toward Justin and said, "How could you?" All caught on camera. Fans are now convinced this moment hints at something much deeper. What actually went down that night might change everything. Everyone assumed it was just another date night for the couple, smiling courtside, matching outfits, cameras everywhere. But once that clip surfaced, the internet went silent. A professional lip reader insisted Hailey whispered, "How could you?" and then added, "You want to relax? I'm done. I'm leaving." In an instant, fans turned every frame into an investigation. Her expression, the way she looked away, cold and distant, said more than words ever could. I've watched that video countless times. No matter how many times you replay that moment, the tension is crystal clear. Justin sat still, barely reacting, staring straight ahead as if nothing had happened. But that silence spoke volumes. I'm not saying they were arguing, but the distance between them was impossible to miss. Fans pointed out how Hailey subtly leaned away, how Justin kept his hands tightly in his lap, and how, when the camera returned, she seemed completely done pretending. It's not the first time people have sensed strange energy between them, but this moment felt different. It wasn't paparazzi speculation, it was real, raw, and happening live. Point 1. Holding on for too long. Holding on for too long. Another fan commented, "Justin didn't even react. It's like he's used to this now, and that's what makes it unsettling." There was no anger, no chaos, just a quiet kind of tension that feels too familiar. It makes you wonder how long this has been building between them. After that game clip blew up online, everyone waited to see Hailey's next move. And when she arrived solo at the Wall Street Journal Innovator Awards in New York, it spoke volumes without a single word. Wearing a sleek black leather outfit and standing tall and composed, she looked every bit in control. The audience saw style, but the internet saw a statement. This wasn't just Hailey posing for cameras, this was Hailey showing up alone. I've seen her make solo appearances before, but this time felt different. No Justin by her side, no forced smiles, just her, standing strong, as if she had something to prove. Or maybe she didn't need to prove anything anymore. Body language experts called it professional confidence, but to me, it looked more like quiet rebellion. And maybe that's exactly what made the moment so powerful. After all the rumors, clips, and lip-reading theories, Hailey didn't respond, didn't post, and didn't defend herself. She just appeared alone, composed, and completely in control. That kind of silence can make a louder statement than any interview ever could. This wasn't about distance anymore, it was about reclaiming her place in the narrative. One fan wrote, "This isn't sadness, this is Hailey taking her power back." And honestly, that felt spot on. Her calm didn't look like pain. It looked like peace. Another fan added, "She's showing Justin what life looks like without her." It's strong, but maybe that's the message. Sometimes walking in alone isn't weakness, it's a warning. And just when the internet couldn't stop talking about Hailey's solo moment, Justin went live on Twitch, and what he said sent everyone into a frenzy. He began casually chatting about music and faith, but then the mood shifted out of nowhere. Justin said, "I've written songs about heartbreak." That single line changed everything. Viewers instantly clipped it, analyzed every second, and connected it straight back to Selena. I watched it live, and you could feel the shift the moment those words left his mouth. Justin wasn't trying to be dramatic, he was just being honest. His tone softened, his eyes dropped, and he looked like someone revisiting a past he wasn't ready to unpack. Then he said, "People still hold things I did 15 years ago against me." You could hear the weight in his voice, regret, maybe guilt, but mostly exhaustion. He never said her name, but the timing and emotion spoke for themselves. It didn't sound like he was reminiscing, it sounded like he was letting go, and in that brief silence after his words, it felt clear Justin wasn't trying to spark gossip. He seemed done pretending those old memories didn't still linger. One fan wrote, "He wasn't talking to us, he was talking to her." And honestly, it did feel that way. That quiet moment didn't sound like a performance. It felt like a message meant for someone who would understand without needing an explanation. Another fan commented, "That's not closure, that's longing." And it's easy to see why people felt that. The way his voice softened, the faint smile that followed, it didn't sound like regret. It sounded like someone remembering what once felt like home. But while Justin's emotional livestream had everyone talking, Selena was busy writing an entirely new chapter. As fans dissected his heartbreak, she was celebrating love, her own. Reports revealed that for her wedding with Benny Blanco, Selena skipped traditional gifts and instead asked guests to donate to her Rare Impact Fund. That single choice completely shifted the conversation online. In a world where celebrity weddings usually scream luxury and excess, Selena made hers about purpose. She turned a glamorous celebration into a fundraiser, and that's real influence. I remember her words, "I wanted to share a little piece of happy with my community." That wasn't PR. That was a genuine perspective. 5 years after launching Rare Impact, she's helped raise over $20 million for mental health awareness. And even on her wedding day, she kept that mission alive. That kind of consistency doesn't just happen, it's intentional. Then came Benny Blanco, the man of the moment, making headlines for spending $37,000 at the charity auction that night. But what most people missed was the meaning behind it. It wasn't about showing off. He was there to support her cause, just like she's always supported his. I saw clips of them together, laughing, holding hands, completely at ease. No fake smiles, no show for the cameras, just genuine comfort between two people who understand each other. There was something almost poetic about the contrast. While Justin was publicly processing his past, Selena was quietly building her future. It wasn't about winning or losing, it was about finding peace. In that moment, Selena didn't just seem happy. She looked free, but as her wedding celebration started trending, the internet did what it always does, it twisted joy into chaos. A viral TikTok suddenly appeared with a woman claiming Selena Gomez was somehow linked to a dark case involving two people named David and Celeste. The theory suggested her kidney transplant was connected to them, and within hours, it spread like wildfire. Within just a few hours, the video had millions of views, hundreds of stitches, and a flood of hashtags painting Selena as something she clearly wasn't. I watched it myself, and it honestly felt like a new low for online rumors. The woman in the video looked completely serious, laying out supposed clues, comparing timelines, and talking about kidney transplants and 10-year lifespans as if she were solving a true crime case. But in reality, she was fueling a baseless conspiracy. Selena's health story has always been open and honest. She's spoken publicly about her lupus diagnosis, her transplant, and her recovery. Yet, people still find ways to twist those facts into something darker. Because drama gets attention, Selena has stayed quiet through plenty of false stories before. But this one felt cruel. It wasn't just gossip, it was harmful. And what made it worse was how quickly people chose to believe it. That's the dangerous side of the internet. Once something sounds believable, truth doesn't even matter anymore. Selena doesn't need to respond to every rumor, because sometimes silence says more than any statement could. Still, it's shocking how fast the story flipped. One moment she's being praised for her compassion and charity, and the next she's being pulled into a made-up crime theory. It shows that no matter how good your intentions are, the internet will always find a way to twist reality, and that's the real horror here. While Selena stayed quiet through the chaos, attention quickly shifted back to the Biebers, the couple everyone can't stop watching. The viral fight clip, Hailey's solo red carpet, and Justin's emotional Twitch moment, together, they started forming a pattern. Not of a breakup, but of a marriage feeling the strain. When you look closely at their recent appearances, there's something unspoken, a quiet distance that no smile or edit can really hide. I've seen this kind of pattern before. Two people doing their best to look okay while the cracks quietly start to show. Justin seems more introspective lately, like he's caught in his own thoughts. Hailey, on the other hand, feels like she's protecting her peace, not out of anger, but maybe out of pure exhaustion. Fame has a way of turning love into performance, and eventually that act starts to fade. They've faced public storms before, but this time feels plenty of false stories before. But this one felt cruel. It wasn't just gossip, it was harmful. And what made it worse was how quickly people chose to believe it. That's the dangerous side of the internet. Once something sounds believable, truth doesn't even matter anymore. Selena doesn't need to respond to every rumor, because sometimes silence says more than any statement could. Still, it's shocking how fast the story flipped. One moment she's being praised for her compassion and charity, and the next she's being pulled into a made-up crime theory. It shows that no matter how good your intentions are, the internet will always find a way to twist reality, and that's the real horror here. While Selena stayed quiet through the chaos, attention quickly shifted back to the Biebers, the couple everyone can't stop watching. The viral fight clip, Hailey's solo red carpet, and Justin's emotional Twitch moment, together, they started forming a pattern. Not of a breakup, but of a marriage feeling the strain. When you look closely at their recent appearances, there's something unspoken, a quiet distance that no smile or edit can really hide. I've seen this kind of pattern before. Two people doing their best to look okay while the cracks quietly start to show. Justin seems more introspective lately, like he's caught in his own thoughts. Hailey, on the other hand, feels like she's protecting her peace, not out of anger, but maybe out of pure exhaustion. Fame has a way of turning love into performance, and eventually that act starts to fade. They've faced public storms before, but this time feels